In a time long ago, in midst of the whispering woods, where ancient trees whispered secrets to the wind, there lay a lake so still and dark that locals called it the Mirror of Nightmares. Its obsidian surface reflected the twisted branches above, creating an illusion of an upside-down forest beneath the waters. For generations, Akkadian storytellers had spun tales of a beautiful mermaid who lured unwary travelers to their doom, her haunting voice echoing through the trees on moonlit nights. Kira, a battle-hardened warrior with eyes like polished obsidian and skin the color of rich earth, had heard these tales since childhood. The daughter of an Akkadian chieftain and a wandering sorceress, Kira had grown up straddling two worlds, one of physical strength and martial prowess, the other of mystical energies and ancient lore. She'd always dismissed the mermaid stories as fables meant to keep children from wandering too far, using them instead as cautionary tales during her training sessions with younger warriors. But when her childhood friend, the explorer Marcus, went missing near the lake, Kira knew she had to uncover the truth behind the legends. Marcus, an experienced woodsman known for his insatiable curiosity and penchant for finding trouble, had visited the Whispering Woods countless times before. His disappearance struck Kira as deeply suspicious, prompting her to investigate. Armed with her trusty sword, a blade forged from star metal and imbued with protective charms, and clad in leather armor adorned with feathers and bone talismans, Kira set out for the Mirror of Nightmares. The dense forest, filled with ancient trees and the scent of damp earth, seemed to close in around her as she approached the lake. The usual chittering of wildlife faded into an eerie silence, and the oppressive atmosphere weighed heavily on her. As she neared the shore, an otherworldly melody drifted across the water. The song was simultaneously beautiful and terrifying, a symphony of longing and despair that tugged at Kira's heart even as it sent chills down her spine. She felt an almost overwhelming urge to step into the dark waters, to let the cold embrace of the lake claim her. Shaking her head to clear it, Kira focused on the protective amulets she wore. The song's pull lessened, allowing her to take in the scene before her with clear eyes. There, in the center of the lake, Kira saw her, a mermaid with scales that shimmered like black opals and hair the color of seafoam. But it was the mermaid's eyes that caught Kira's attention. They glowed with an unnatural purple light, filled with a mixture of sadness and rage that seemed at odds with the beauty of her song. Near the mermaid, clinging desperately to a fallen log, was Marcus. His normally sharp eyes were glazed over, completely entranced by the mermaid's song. He seemed unaware of the danger he was in, a blissful smile on his face as he slowly loosened his grip on the log.
"Marcus!"
Kira called out, her voice cutting through the melody, but her friend didn't respond, too deeply ensnared by the enchantment. The mermaid turned her gaze to Kira, her song intensifying. Kira felt the pull of the enchantment strengthen, a fog threatening to cloud her mind, but her strong will and the protective charms she wore kept her thoughts clear, allowing her to resist the siren's call. Kira drew her sword and demanded,
"Release him now!"
The mermaid's song turned mournful, the notes dripping with sorrow, her voice shattering like crystal.
"I cannot. The curse compels me to lure and drown. I have no choice."
Kira's eyes narrowed, her warrior's instincts warring with the empathy she felt at the creature's obvious pain.
"Curse? Speak plainly, creature. What manner of enchantment holds you?"
As Kira cautiously waded into the shallows, her sword at the ready, the mermaid began to tell her tale. Her name was Lyra, and she had once been a guardian of these waters, a protector of the forest and its inhabitants. For centuries, she had lived in harmony with the land, using her songs to soothe troubled hearts and guide lost travelers to safety. But 50 years ago, a powerful witch named Moira had come to the Whispering Woods, seeking to claim its ancient magics for herself. Lyra had opposed her, using her own magic to shield the forest from Moira's dark rituals. Enraged by the mermaid's interference, Moira had spent years researching forbidden magics, searching for a way to neutralize the lake's guardian.
She came to me on the night of a blood moon. I thought she sought to parley, to find a peaceful resolution to our conflict. But it was a trap.
Lyra continued, her glowing eyes distant with painful memories. Moira had brought with her a black pearl of tremendous magical power, infused with the essence of 1,000 drowned souls. As Lyra approached, thinking to negotiate, the witch had shattered the pearl, releasing a curse of unimaginable potency.
The magic twisted everything I was. My songs of protection became lures for the unwary. My love for these waters turned into a compulsion to drown any who came near. Each life I take feeds the witch's power, strengthening her hold over the forest.
Kira's heart softened at the mermaid's plight, but she remained wary. A lifetime of battle had taught her that sympathy could be a weapon as surely as any blade.
How can the curse be broken?
She asked, her sword still held at the ready. Lyra shook her head, sending ripples across the lake's surface.
Only by destroying the witch's source of power, a new black pearl she created from the energies of the first. She wears it around her neck, using it to channel the life force of my victims into her dark rituals.
The mermaid's expression turned hopeless.
But I am bound to this lake, unable to leave its waters. And no mortal has ever resisted my song long enough to help. You are the first in 50 years to even speak with me.
Here was a chance not just to save her friend, but to right a terrible wrong.
Then I shall be the first to break your curse. Tell me where to find this witch, Lyra.
Lyra pointed to a cave half hidden behind a waterfall at the lake's edge.
There. She makes her lair in the caverns beyond. But beware, warrior. Moira's magic is strong, and she has had decades to fortify her defenses.
Kira nodded, then turned her attention back to Marcus, who was still floating in a daze.
Release him into my care, and I swear by my blade that I'll return to free you from this curse.
Lyra hesitated, clearly struggling against the compulsion that drove her. Then, with visible effort, she nodded. Her song changed, taking on a different cadence. Marcus blinked, confusion replacing the enchantment in his eyes. Before he could slip beneath the waves, Kira quickly pulled him to shore.
Kira? What happened? I remember following a beautiful voice, and then...
Marcus sputtered, coughing up lake water.
Save your strength. The danger's not past. Stay here, stay quiet, and whatever you do, do not approach the water again. I have a witch to defeat.
Kira commanded, helping him to his feet. Leaving her bewildered friend at the shore, Kira approached the cave entrance. She could feel the weight of powerful magic in the air, pressing down on her like a physical force. Drawing on her mother's teachings, Kira centered herself, visualizing a barrier of protective energy surrounding her. The cave beyond the waterfall was a nightmare realm of twisted stalagmites and phosphorescent fungi. The walls seemed to pulse with an unhealthy light, and shadows moved in ways that defied natural law. At the heart of this corrupted grotto, Kira found the witch Moira, a creature more shadow than flesh, with eyes like smoldering embers and claws that dripped venom.
So, a mortal thinks to challenge me? Your bones will make fine trinkets, girl, and your life force will feed my power nicely.
Moira cackled, her voice like rustling dry leaves. But Kira was no ordinary mortal. She had faced demons and monsters, bargained with trickster spirits and bested warrior kings. This witch's magic found little purchase against her protected mind and warrior's spirit. Their battle was fierce, shadow magic clashing against cold steel. Tendrils of darkness lashed out at Kira, only to be deflected by her ensorcelled blade. When Moira summoned twisted creatures born of nightmare, Kira met them with the battle songs of her people, her voice raised in defiance. Kira suffered wounds that would have felled a lesser warrior, long gashes across her arms, a burn on her cheek from a too-close blast of eldritch fire. But her determination never wavered. With each clash, each narrow evasion, she drew closer to her goal, the black pearl that hung from Moira's neck. Finally, with a mighty swing of her sword, Kira shattered the pearl. The backlash of released energy sent both combatants flying. Moira screamed, her form dissolving into mist as decades of stolen life force sought to return to its rightful owners. Exhausted but victorious, Kira limped back to the lake, using her sword as a crutch. The oppressive atmosphere had lifted, and she could hear birds singing in the distance. Nature was returning to the whispering woods. Lyra was waiting at the shore, her eyes no longer glowing with cursed light. Instead, they were a deep, oceanic blue that shifted like the tides.
You did it. The compulsion, it's gone. I can feel the lake's true magic again.
A warrior keeps her promises.
Kira managed a tired smile. Lyra swam closer, reaching out to take Kira's hand in gratitude. Where their skin touched, Kira felt a cool, soothing energy flow into her, easing her pain and beginning to knit her wounds. She said,
How can I ever repay you?
Be a guardian once more. Protect these waters and those who dwell near them. Let your songs bring joy and guidance instead of doom. That will be repayment enough.
Kira felt her energy was restored, and her wound was healing with the mermaid's magical touch. As dawn broke over the mirror of nightmares, the lake's surface began to change. The oppressive darkness lifted, replaced by crystal-clear waters that sparkled in the morning sun. Fish jumped and water plants blossomed, as if nature itself was celebrating Lyra's freedom.
I name you friend, Kira of the Whispering Woods.
With a final grateful smile, Lyra dove beneath the surface, free at last to choose her own path. Kira watched her go, marveling at the iridescent scales visible just under the water. Marcus, fully recovered from his ordeal, stood beside Kira at the shore.
I've explored the far corners of this world, but never have I witnessed anything like this. What a tale this will make.
Kira chuckled, wincing slightly as her healing wounds pulled.
Indeed. But perhaps we'll keep the full truth between us, my friend. Let the people simply know that the lake is safe now, guarded by a kind spirit rather than a cursed siren.
As they turned to leave, Kira heard Lyra's voice one last time, no longer a song of doom, but a melody of hope and protection for all who visited the renamed Lake of the Guardian. It spoke of renewal, of second chances, and of the enduring power of compassion in the face of darkness. Kira smiled, knowing that she had not just saved a friend and broken a curse, but had helped restore balance to a vital part of the Whispering Woods. As a warrior, she had won many battles, but few victories had ever felt as significant as this. With a lightened heart and a story that would be told for generations, Kira led Marcus back through the forest, already planning her next adventure in this world of hidden wonders and ancient magics.